छाया आसमान देखो झूमता गगन है छाया आसमान देखो झूमता गगन
Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Saturday night. Welcome to Saturday Starry Night Live. You're in the Star Room with G. It is Saturday, April 5th. Freedom. Liberation Day. Our way. Yeah, our way. So, we are here and we're going to see who else is here, and let me see if you guys can hear me. I also got to double check the software. I was doing some work with some people today, and this funky software in this room gets glitchy. I never have this problem out there in the other room, but in here, like I punch in a birthday, time, and all that good stuff, and location, and it gave me an incorrect rising sign, and so that's a problem. So hopefully it's I don't know, done being glitchy, because normally there's nothing I do to it. It just all of a sudden, oh, it's working now. So who knows? Hopefully we don't have any problems. But how is everyone doing tonight? We have Taffy already in the room with us. She is laying over here on the floor. She's on her pillow. She wanted to come in here badly. So she doesn't mind sweetgrass. I had done some of the heavier sage earlier, but I burnt some of the sweetgrass right before we went live, and she stayed in the room. She was like, I'm sleeping in on this one. And so, yeah, I thought, what the heck? I did just a little bit, though, because I know they're not supposed to have sweetgrass. Lou S is in the house, in the Star Room. What's going on, Lou? Thank you for the April 7th video. Watched that one twice now. Well, that's awesome. Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. If I hadn't had such a crazy time with the tech and my own stuff, I would have had it out sooner. But, the damn editing takes so much time, and oh my God. So yeah, April 7th is Monday. Bam. All right. Who is Nightfall Bliss? I don't even recognize that name, but welcome to the Star Room. If you haven't been here before, for anybody who's listening, even if you're not in the chat, but you're listening, just make sure that if you are looking for me to look at your chart, I have to have birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state, preferably before the live stream begins is ideally the best way to do it. Super ideally would be the day before, 24 hours in advance, because it just takes a whole lot away. It's not fair for other people for me to be making up a chart while they're waiting and blah, blah, blah. It just slows the whole process down. All right. So Stacy's here. What's going on, Stacy? How the heck are you? All right. I think that says Francesca down below is who night. Well, my Lord, how many names do you actually have? Holy moly. Didn't we have a few names for you last week? And finally we were like, oh, it's Francesca. Like, why didn't I think of that? And maybe you were here as night falls. Who in the hell knows? Stacy, how are you doing? How is life? Hopefully Yeah, how's your weather over there? I know we've had some crazy weather in the States. Lots of, well, tragic shit, tornadoes and deaths, like tragic. But that, we got a lot of tragic shit here. So, um, all right. So, Oni, I don't know if I'm saying your name right. I see your comment. I'm taking a look at that. Um, oh, well, I was going to take a look at it. Where'd it go? Yeah. Oni says, I love her weekly videos. I just wish some were a little closer to the time of events so we could get her take, how the energies actually played out, how they actually played out. So, in other words, studying charts after the event type of thing. Is that what you mean? That would make sense. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Um, well, I guess I don't do it, especially if I've already done a video about a specific timeline, you know? And I mean, I guess I could create videos. Well, anyway, that's a whole nother damn thing. It's just more videos to create. But yeah, I don't know if that's what you're talking about. But if I've already created videos for a specific timeline, I've already touched on the general energy. So when it comes to talking about how it specifically plays out, because the energy is just the energy, the astrology doesn't really change. But you know, yeah, I mean, like, give me an example. You know what I'm saying? Like a specific video that I did in a timeline where you were like, oh, I would like to see the after look, so to speak, the after studied chart on it. Maybe that's just, well, no. I want to understand though. I see your comment about, I know it's greedy and it's a lot of work, but I want to understand what you're asking for, because if there's some way I can incorporate that, I would absolutely do it, especially if people would find it interesting and wanted to watch it. I just find that, at least for me, people don't want to actually, a small handful wants to learn and study. People are more about wanting to, from what I can gather anyway, as far as me getting some traction on a video, is something that's maybe projecting is the wrong word, but just trying to say, hey, here's the future and here's the astrology for that time and here's the energy. But if it's like a past event, yeah, people tend to, I don't know. Seems like they don't watch. Maybe it's just me, my style. Maybe I don't know what it is. But yeah, so I'm just looking for clarity on what you wrote, because maybe I can incorporate it. I love ideas. I love, input from people who actually watch. Yeah, for sure. No, it's not my first time here. Not if you're Francesca. It's not your first time here. Look at guys, look. Stacy got keys to the new place. Holy shit. It worked. It went through. Cha-ching. So, Stacy, we've been looking at your chart about this move, and wow, it moved fast. The whole Saturn thing, it was like, oh God, is that going to slow the process down? And then what happened? It went and it worked. Congratulations. Congratulations. I know the anxiety over not knowing, and now it's a new place, but it's sounds like it's in a better area from what you were talking about. So I'm extremely happy for you for that. That is awesome. Super awesome. Fairy there. How the heck are you, Fairy there? I hope you are doing well. Been a while. Texas. Yeah. Were you at the rally in Texas? All 50 states? Who's excited? Hell yes. Hell yes. Like, this is the freaking America I know. Shit. I am just so tired of having to apologize for being an American. I'm just, but I do it because it's necessary. The rest of the world's like, what the hell? You suck. And I'm like, you're right. We suck. But at least today is something to be proud of. All right. Rainy and chilly. Okay. That's how we are today. Exactly. Exactly. Gray, rainy, barely 40 degrees. Yeah. And I think we're going to be in the 20s tomorrow and Monday. Oh, at nighttime temperatures, although we'll see what happens during the day. But yeah, I think it's going to be little winter. We're going to get our little winter on. All right. So Stacy's like, we got a list. Damn it. Lou, then nightfall, then Stacy's passing, then Oni. I don't think I have your digits on this list here, these names. And if I don't have your digits, you're going to make sure they get to me. It just depends on how busy or slow I am, if it's a slow night. But if it's a busy night, you know, I spend more time on people's charts who actually gift the channel. You don't have to gift the channel for me to look at your chart, but if you want me to spend some decent time, like I said before, y'all take care of me, I take care of you. Just common sense. So it just depends on what kind of a night it is. And if I don't have your digits, I'm going to pass and go on to the next person, and you just go to the back of the line until you get your digits to me. Where it's going to be straightforward, because sometimes it just gets crazy and people, I don't know, either don't understand the language I speak, or I just don't know. Christy, what's going on? How are you, amiga? You know what? A couple days after last week, when I still had that video up, that live stream, I thought, I wonder if that's a problem. And now it's been a week. And I kept meaning to send you an email, but this has just been a bizarre, strange, just a crazy, crazy week. And I just never did it. And I thought, damn, I wonder if I should just take it down. So, I mean, I can take it down. It's not like it's a video that makes money. It's not making any money. It's not even monetized. But I think I left it up because of the intro that I did, talking about private lives I'm going to be having. This is an experiment, so we're going to see how it goes. It's one Saturday every month, the last Saturday of every month, Starry Night Lives, private lives. You dig? So it will not be on YouTube. It will not. To get into the Starry Night Lives, private lives, it is limited seating. Because I really want it to be private and intimate. So I'm taking limited people for it. The first one's already half full. There's only 50% space left for the very first one, which is the last Saturday of this month. And send me an email and I'll explain the rest of the details to you. It's a live stream that will, it's not a live stream. I just said a live stream. It's a private lives that will never, ever be on YouTube as a video anybody can watch. Okay. So if you're interested in something like that, you go to my email. It's right below this video and the details. You let me know and we'll go from there. And I don't know if I missed anything, but yeah. So it would take the place of a Starry Night Live that we have every Saturday, right? So that means 3 Saturdays we do this. The 4th Saturday, it's private. You only see it if you are involved in the private live stream. All right, so let me get to the chat and let me get to, where am I at? Christy, Ferry there, Stacy, Linda. I just recently found your channel. Awesome, Linda. We are happy that you're here. Where are you watching from? That's kind of one of the questions we like to ask, just to see who's here and where they're watching from. And boy, I was watching some videos, some news from out of London today in the UK. And I got to be like, where's our Derek Briscoe, and send him a round of, and his people and our people, anybody out there who's rooting for the US and just the support. We need that kind of support. I can't stress it enough. It makes, I don't know, Americans have never had to, yeah. Anyway, it just helps to know that there's support and that there's fellow human beings that are like, yes, you can do this. So I just want to be like, thank you. A few health things coming up last few weeks. Oh, well, I hope that you're on the mend. I hope that you're on the mend. There's a few health things coming up lately. All right. So Hey, G, I just sent my new grandson's birth info. Donna Marie, how are you? You have a new grandson? Oh my God. How the heck are you? You just sent the info. Okay. All right. So, I will check it out. I will get it in here. No problem. I was just, yeah, but yeah. So, Oni, did I hit it right on the head though? Did I understand what you were saying? That's my thing. I just wanted clarity. Um, I just wanted to make sure that I understood your comment. Sometimes I read things and yeah, it just depends where my brain is. Sometimes part of the head is connecting up there and out there and yeah. Like, yeah, anyway. Sometimes the intuition stuff's strong. Remember, we got Mercury and Venus and Pisces. So the other side steps in and sometimes parts of the intellect and the thinking and gets a little fuzzy and I just have to get clarity and have to confirm. All right. So, okay. So, okay. Long time since I've seen you. Yeah. How have you been, Donna? I hope you've been doing good and I hope you've been busy. Hope you've been doing what you've been talking about doing. But it sounds like, I don't know when your grandson was born. Did you say grandson or grandchild? I think she said grandson. Yeah. But yeah, if it's been a little bit of time, well, then you might have been busy helping with the grandbaby, right? Because there is nothing like a brand newborn. It's like there's just something quite special about that. Okay, good. Stacy's on the ball. She's telling people what number they are. That helps. That's great. Woohoo! I'm so happy for you, Stacy. So happy for you. It happened, man. It happened. That's great. That is so great. All right, Linda's from Michigan. Hello, Michigan. All right. Fair hope getting some ease. Yeah, right. I know right now with the Mars. What's Mars at 25, right? Mars at 25. I know I got to stop talking. I got to get to work. Let me click on this real quick here. Yeah, Mars is at 25. The moon right now, Mars is at 25 in Cancer. The moon right now, 29 degrees in Cancer. Yes. I mean, Cancer is the public, right? Yeah. Cancer is the public. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. All right. So, I understood you fine. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure, especially if it's someone who I'm not used to chit-chatting with. Everyone's got, reading is one thing. And to read a chat, you can lose a lot of meaning in it. And I just wanted to know for sure. All righty. So, Lulu is here. I am Lulu. How the hell are you, Lulu? Look at this. Lulu S. They're trying to confuse me. All right. Yeah, right. Congratulations on the new baby. I have no idea so much time has gone by. That's okay as long as you're good, I mean, as long as everybody's healthy and sane, and so far everybody is. I'm in between making dinner. Oh, busy. All right. So let me get to work. I know Donna sent some digits, but we'll start up. There's a list here somewhere. I already lost it. I know Lou S is first. Lou, are we, Lou said she's making dinner. I don't know if that means that she's not going. Lou, I don't know if I saw, let me get my phone. Ah, damn, my thumb. Oh, what is going on? Man. All right, so let's see if is Lou taking a thing? Lou is passing. Oh, thank you, Stacy. I didn't even see that. Okay, great. Lou's passing, so it goes to Nightfall Bliss, and that would be, I know who this is. This is Francesca. This is Francesca. Okay, is Nightfall Bliss still here? We're on a roll. Let's go. Do you want the link? Let me give you the link and see if you want to come in here. And if you do, great. If you don't worry about it. I'll just go to your chart and I'll go where the intuition points me. That's just how I roll. All right. So there's a link for Nightfall Bliss, and let's get this going. Let's get this going. All right, let me find your chart. Let's get Stacy. I'm sorry, Stacy. You know, it's not Stacy, it's Francesca. Francesca. All righty, let's see. EFG. Um. Hmm. Well, Francesca, was there a name in front of it? Because I don't have anything. I don't have a Francesca. You must have given me two names, or it was probably the name of a different account you were using. Like I don't recognize the Nightfall Bliss, so there was a name in front of it. So this kind of is giving me flashbacks to last week. So I can just listen. Oh, we're still on the X, huh? Didn't you ask me this like 5 times? So I understand you want that X to come back. So gosh, I feel like maybe we should just have somebody else read your chart tonight. Seriously though, I need a different name. I'm recognizing your chart. I'm seeing part of it in my head, especially that 8th house, because I've seen it multiple times now. But yeah, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. But seriously, I need a different name. Francesca's not in the system. There was a name in front of it, or you had a different account. I understand now you're at work, so you have different accounts at the job. I get it. Does anybody else remember? I mean, yeah. She's Nightfall doesn't know either. She's giving me her birth digits all over again. Holy shit. Okay. Let's see what I can do. Is anybody I'm looking to see if one of my power brains can remember what name you gave last time. You know, some of these people, they got brains the size of freaking watermelons, man, bigger than mine, and they retain some shit where I'm like, "Oh, okay. Thank you." Well, yeah, I can put it under Francesca if I could find it. I guess I got to reconstruct the chart again. Yeah, I don't know what name we had it under. And I think the reason I didn't have it under Francesca is because that's not the name that you showed up under, like when you show up in the chat. Because then it's just easier if I don't have to ask somebody every time, what name did you use? Or if you already know what name it is under and you just tell me straight off, then I'm like, okay, I will take care of that. I will find that. You know what I mean? So let me do this right now. Okay, and Francesca is this. November 25th, 1969, right? I mean, I know everybody in the chat is like, we remember this chart. I don't know what I did to my thumb, but it's got a sharp pain in it. I'm like, what the hell? Okay, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 1:32 a.m., right? We're almost there. I just got to make sure the spelling on this is right because it will really give me. And God, I hope the dang software is working right tonight. A little bit ago, it was glitchy. I don't know if you guys heard me, and I was like, what the hell? Okay, so Virgo rising, 23 degrees. That's what it's giving me right now. Let's hope this is right. Is this right? Yep, Saturn in the 8th. That looks familiar to me. Is that you? Does that sound like you? 23-degree Virgo ascendant. Let's show this chart and let's see if this is you. Yeah, I keep twisting my head to look at the fine print on the phone here. That's her. Venus 18 degrees. Venus 18 degrees. Yeah, we got a Venus at 18. We got a moon at 17. The fast moving moon. All right, so I can say this. See, the software just like corrected itself. It's just the weirdest thing. But yeah, I was in the middle of a reading for somebody pulling up, their birth chart. Thank God I already had a chart for them from the software out there. So, but I wanted to be able anyway. I was just it's just when your shit doesn't work and you depend on it, and it's like, okay, this is embarrassing. I'm in the middle of a reading and this shit's giving me the wrong chart. Great. So, Francesco, you're really focused on this love connection, right? So, let me go backwards for a second because the natal chart is going to be key, okay? Venus is your power planet, okay? Sure, I told you that already. Love, desires, Venus power. You already had a Venus trine Venus because Venus was in Pisces. You are going to have Venus isn't going to go back to 18, though. It's not even going to go back to your node, but it will go over your descendant, the Pisces energy here. Okay, Venus is going to go over here. Venus actually, you know what? It stands still at 24. So it's Venus, though. Is your partner coming back? Is your partner Venus? You see what I'm saying? It's Venus, female, feminine energy. I'll put it like that. That's going to drop in on your descendant, okay, at 24 degrees. That's where Venus stands still. So when that happens, I mean, I'm wondering if that's what you're thinking. Like Venus is going to go back. It's going to sit there. That means, all this is going to happen. So let's pull this up now. Now we'll go to all the transits here. The other thing too is now you have Saturn going through your seventh, right? So that's those restrictions and slowdowns, okay? And there you go. Look at Venus and Mercury together. And then there's the North Node even. They're together. So Venus and Mercury already went over the North Node, okay? And second house energy for that love connection with Venus there. Well, you've got Libra in the second house, which is, yes, let's do this. But Venus and Pisces and all the Pisces energy you got, it throws a strong quincunx to Libra energy. Strong quincunx. Now, you do have Jupiter at 26, and so Venus and Mercury are connecting, but it's a quincunx. It's an agitation. It's an irritation. A quincunx requires us to make a move, to do something. We have to either initiate, we have to either reach out, we have to act in some way. Like that's what the quincunx. I always talk about it like it's an itch. And I'm going to stand up and itch it, or like put my back against the wall, or find that long thing and go, that's that strong quincunx. So far, I'm not too optimistic for that reason. Now, you have Neptune in your seventh house. Neptune's going to go back to 29. But the point of Neptune in your seventh is it changes that energy of the seventh. Neptune can be idealistic and dreamy, fantastical. It can make things kind of dissipate, disappear, look fuzzy and confusing. That's the power of Neptune. It's in your relationship. It's in your seventh house. And this person, from what I'm looking at, it says here, is Aries. Now, you do have your Chiron at 2 degrees. And when Neptune gets to 2 degrees, it will begin its retrograde there. I don't know if we covered this part for you, but 2 degrees is the degree that Neptune begins its retrograde. Now, I think I saw that Neptune stops and stands still here. I want to say September. I could be wrong. But I think that's going to be right there at that point. Now, what can it do for that? Can it dissolve the relationship and the wounds? Chiron is the wounds that occurred in the relationship, partnership, the wounds of my partner. Okay. So Neptune can come through and make some changes. Is it possible Neptune can bring a healing? It's possible. Neptune and Jupiter are not your power planets, though. Your power planet for love is going to be Venus, but you do have Jupiter approaching your midheaven. And a midheaven in a female's chart, if she's looking for a man, that can bring a man in your life. At least starting the communication process, if nothing more, because it's Jupiter approaching your midheaven. All right. So this is in April. This is at the end of April. Jupiter's at 20 and your midheaven is at 22 degrees. Now, if something occurs for you, it'll probably trigger sooner because of your second house cusp line at 19. Okay. Because Jupiter will trine your second house, which means you'll have a Jupiter in the sky trining that Libran energy. You know, again, hopefully you're already having conversations because this is all in the month of April. Hopefully that's happening for you. And maybe there's some rethinking going on. It's possible. It's possible. Am I going to say that it's a definite? I can't say anything is definite because of all the wishy-washy Neptune energy we have. And you have Neptune in your 7th house, because even if you get a yay or a nay or a yes, right, or a no, or let's go out, let's just try a little, a little whatever, just like a date night or something. That Neptune and that Saturn that go into Aries are both going back into Pisces. So it's like we're in a yo-yo. We're going up and down, up and down. It's almost like whiplash. And this is kind of for this year. You follow? So that's what I see, because that's what's happening in your 7th. And then it isn't going to take long. Jupiter is going to leave your midheaven, and it's going to pretty damn quickly. I'm talking April, by June 1st. We're talking Jupiter in your 10th house, but it's now in Cancer energy. Okay? It's now in Cancer. And can that bring about something? Possibly, because your Venus is in water down here. Water. So it might take all the way until Jupiter starts to trine your Venus for things to be a little bit more like, okay, we're on again. It might take that. But that's going to be some time. Okay? And as far as how much time, well, you're talking September. That's kind of far out there. All right? So, I hope that helps. All right, Nightfall, Night Bliss. I do have Francesca on this chart. It is saved. So the next time you come, please remember to ask for Francesca, because, yeah. You help me, I help you. And that's the way it works. All right, we're moving on. So, Stacy had a list. Who was after Nightfall? Stacy's passing. Okay. Ani, I don't think I have Ani's digits. Oni. I don't think that person is that. Oh, thank you for saying to like the live. I didn't even like the damn live on my own phone. Let me do that. Let me take care of that. I mean, it just helps. Let's like this thing and see what's going on. Okay, let's do that. All right. So let's move along here. Okay, Ani gave me, I sent email with my info. Okay, I see that. Let me go check that out. This is also another reason why you would want to be in the private lives. In the private lives, nobody enters, I already have people's birth digits. I already know who's next. And, like that's the whole point of the private lives too. It's not going to be, willy-nilly like this. I mean, this is kind of, it's a spontaneous thing, but at the same time. Okay, so Ani said that I was sent. Ani, I don't have your digits here. I don't even have an email. Well, I see emails from 3 other people that are in the chat right now, but none of them are from Ani or Oni. So, yeah, that's a problem. Let's see. Let me go. Yeah. I even checked my spam, Ani. There's nothing there. So I'm not sure where you sent it. You might have gotten a letter wrong because I know it's a long pain in the ass email name. I get it. But yeah, there's nothing here. Okay, I got you, Donna. Mine is Mason's. I got you. Okay. I am Lulu. Yeah. If you were here before, you're in my system. I don't throw charts out, unless I do like a sweep, and that would be like stuff that I haven't seen someone in years, and I'm like, okay, they're gone. They don't come around no more. Okay, so I kind of got to move on because I don't have your digits on me. Just so you know, don't give up though. Get your digits to me and come back. Not a problem. All right. Question is, who was after Ani? I should have just pinned that damn comment and I didn't. So yeah, if you want to be part of the private lives, just go ahead to my email. And I see we got some people who have jumped in. Like I said, it's already half full. There are some comments for the private lives there, so who knows, it might be full because I want to keep them private and small. Okay, so we're on to Fairy there. Fairy there, are we taking a look at you? Let me pin this damn thing. Fairy there and then Donna. Did Fairy there say if she was going tonight? We haven't seen Fairy there in a minute. Fairy there, are you up next? Fairy there is like, yes, please. All right, let's get Fairy there a link. If you want to come on, Fairy there, here's your link. If you don't or you can't, don't worry about it. There you go. And let me go get your chart. We're in the F's. I see Francesca's name there. That's good. All right, there's Fairy there. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. It just took me seconds to find it, and bam, that's what we want. Okay. Let's get Fairy there in here. Add that to the stage. Let's see if Fairy there's here.
Hello,
Hello.
everyone. Good evening.
All right. How are you?
I'm surviving.
Okay. Not on the mend?
Yeah, I think I'm starting to get better. I'm worried that might be a little more long term than I was hoping.
Yeah.
It looks like it might be IBS.
Oh, okay. Well, depending upon who you talk to, researchers that you look up on and do, like sometimes there's a lot of things that holistically we can do for ourselves that can kind of take care of some things. So hopefully that happens for you.
That's true.
I see you, Steffi. I said Stacy Steffi. How are you? All right. Let me get to let me get to your chart. So what are we looking at exactly?
Oh, well,
Is it the health
let's
stuff?
see. No, actually.
Okay.
So you know that I've been trying to work towards selling my home. So we had some work done here and there, and then I had somebody come to repair some siding on my home because some animals had eaten it and were getting in.
Yeah.
And so they came and they took all the siding off to repair it, and they showed me the framing of the house. It looks like my framing is going bad. It's wet. It's like all of my framing in my house now has to be replaced.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, well, I have a double holy shit here, actually, because this is not your chart. I know you're a Libra loaded in the first house,
No.
correct?
It has my date correct.
It
That's
does, but you're
my
not a
chart.
Taurus ascendant. Isn't all your Libra in your first house?
Yes.
What the hell? See the glitchy shit I'm talking about? Like, what is going on? So let me, man, I swear this is just really frustrating for me. I mean, I've looked at your chart many times and haven't had this problem. And I don't know why we have two charts, but let me click on this other one. Whoa, that was wild. So let me go to this and delete this. And then let me go to this other one and see. because it looked like it was all Libra in the first, and I know that's who you are.
Yeah.
All right, so you're doing a lot of Saturn stuff. That's what you're doing. You're kind of restructuring the framing. I mean building. That's Saturn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of Saturn stuff.
And in the meantime, the one roommate has moved out, and I'm waiting for my other son to move in.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And
All
everything
righty.
kind of
There we
feels
go.
topsy-turvy. Yes, that looks like my chart.
And your sun is dipped across into the 12th house just by 1 degree. Your 12th house sun, 9 degrees of Libra on the 12th.
Well, no, because my cusp is at 8:17, right?
Oh, yeah. The other, see my reverse. Sorry. You're right. Yes. Common sense. It's at 8, so 9 is, you're absolutely right.
I'm so glad my counting skills have not
No,
been good.
this happened to me earlier today. Like the reversal crap just happened on me. Like, anyway, thank you for right away
That's okay. I
stating
remember
it.
being timeline challenged in kindergarten.
All right. So home Capricorn. Oh, look what she has, guys. Look what she has. 4th house is Capricorn. She has 8 degrees right there. You have Saturn in Cappy at 1 degrees. 1 degrees. That's cardinal. Cardinal. Why does that matter? Well, because we got Neptune in Aries at 0 degrees.
Making a nice T-square kind of with my
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, because let me see. Is this Sappho at 11 up here in Cancer? Yeah, that's at 11. Your ascendant, you've
My
got a
node.
node at 4. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Libra's opposite of Aries. And this, see, the thing is with Neptune and it squaring your Saturn energy, Saturn is material and tangible. I can hold it, I can see it, I can knock on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Neptune has the ability to kind of dissolve the tangible realm. Neptune is like the 5 and the 7D realm. And Neptune brings in water, possibly, because it's Neptune. It rules the
Yeah,
water.
it looks like water damage to the framing. Yeah.
Well, I'm reading the astrology. You got Neptune squaring Saturn, which is the structure. Yeah, the structure of the home, the structure of what you built, what you're building. Damn, I'm sure you were not happy about this at all.
No, not thrilled. Not on top of the electrical problems they already told us
Oh
about, which
God.
I was like, that's a lot. That was almost $20,000, but we can figure that out. This
Oh,
one is more like $100-something thousand.
holy shit. Oh no.
So
Wow.
looks like I'm going to have to learn how to be my own contractor
Wow.
and do this in stages.
I was just gonna say, like, how. Oh man, I know this was not your plan. You were like, you had
I want to
plans.
be out of here. I want
Yeah,
to
I
be
know.
out of here.
I know you were like on the road again. So, how long has it been since you've known this?
A couple of weeks.
Do you think this has been part of you maybe not feeling so good?
The not feeling so good happened after I got this news.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You got this news
Yeah.
and then you got sick. I mean, I'm just saying, like, this is enough to make you sick. Yeah.
It could be, yeah.
Well, 4th house isn't just the home where I live, but it's my emotions.
Oh, it sure felt like a gut punch.
Yeah.
And so does IBS.
Yeah. Well, yep, that's all connected to it for sure. So, damn, man. Well, yeah, Neptune's going to go all the way to 2 degrees, so it gets closer to your south node. And your south node, I can't tell you how many people I'm doing today where they have north and south nodes in Aries and Libra. Today,
And I'm really
specifically
not
today.
looking forward to this full moon coming up that's going to be at 23 degrees right
Oh,
opposite my moon.
oh, that's right. It's on your moon. Oh, right. Okay. So the full moon is at 23 degrees of Libra,
Mm-hmm.
and that's your moon.
Yeah, there I
Okay.
am.
Yes. Yikes. Well, the emotions, remember the emotions and self in my physical body and Libran energy does like it to be beautiful and perfect, of course. you know,
When is
uh
that going to happen?
yeah, this is difficult and you've got so much in Libra that's difficult. Well, at this point when you get big numbers, it's always like, wow, I would maybe get multiple estimates. I don't know, but
Oh,
the way
yes,
things are
definitely.
going, until the current administration understands the reality of the world and things, either that or Congress grows some and takes care of business where they prevent, some of this extreme stuff from happening and reverse it or something, because the raw goods alone to do what you're hoping to take care of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, yeah, that's it. So again, we're on a yo-yo. Uh, I'm praying that because of that yo-yo, that means things will drastically flip, which is, we'll see.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not holding my breath. Although the astrology suggests that things will change because it's got to go backwards and then forward again into that different energy. And hopefully that's what happens. Hopefully Congress
Yeah.
takes care of business, because this would mean this wouldn't be something that you could do in a short amount of time by any means, even if it wasn't you, but just for the money within itself and having to do it in stages and having to live there while it's being done.
Yeah.
That requires closing off sections of the home, right? Um, yeah, this is just like huge. Huge. Man. Um,
Yeah, I'm
and
not
that
in love
Neptune's
with
going to
the
come
whole
back and
idea of it eating
sorry?
all my equity. I'm not in love with the idea of it eating all my equity. Even if I pay for these repairs and it still helps my house sell better, it's still eating part of my equity.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Um, well then I guess maybe I'm not like a financial advisor or anything, but I would even be considering, you know, can I just get rid of it without having to make those repairs? And not saying to be shystery about it, right?
No,
Obviously, right.
it
It's
has to
okay.
be disclosed, and yeah,
Yeah. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying like a Neptune thing, but just like I don't have the funds to do it, and I just want to get it gone. I'm not saying to do that. I'm just considering
yeah,
and voicing options. That's it. That is it.
yeah. Well,
Um,
after we get some more estimates,
yeah. Well, yeah.
then we will be able
Yeah.
to make some better
Absolutely.
decisions.
Yeah, because that's wow, that's just crazy. That's too much to handle. That's a lot. And then the Neptune, even like I said, when it goes back, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to come back to the Saturn again.
Is it going to undo it?
No, I don't think it'll undo Saturn, but Neptune coming back. What's interesting is Neptune coming back, it'll almost, Saturn will kind of be there first. So you'll have, I know you aren't going to want to hear this, but I'm just going to tell you because you're here. You're going to have Saturn square Saturn. Saturn will be in Aries. And if it's Saturn square Saturn, it is stress and tension, but it's Saturn, and Saturn brings structure and order and like a plan and a goal. Of course, duty and responsibilities, but it brings that with it. So we'll have to see how that looks for you. Your Saturn, I'm just going to double check this. Yeah, 1 degree Saturn. So the appearance and the body, the long-term goal. Well, we'll see what happens because it's Saturn square Saturn, and it will then be joined, like Neptune will be there too. So it's a really confusing combination. It's Saturn and Neptune together when they come back into Aries.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, I have no, like for you, it, you know, maybe there's some shortcut or something that occurs that maybe it's hopefully not as horribly bad as you've been told already. Maybe you have other estimates and they're like, no, I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to give you false hope. I'm
Yeah.
just saying with a Saturn square Saturn, it forces us to do something. And it's all work and duty and responsibility
Yes.
and thinking about my long-term financial security.
Well, so what's new? I mean, that's my whole life. Saturn
Yeah.
square Sun and
Yeah.
ascendant and North Node.
Well, this is true. This
This
is
is
true.
just extra.
That's right. Because your nodes always, the North and the South nodes always square your Saturn.
Exactly.
They're always there doing that. So hopefully with Saturn, this can be an authority figure. This can be a father figure. This can be, maybe it is you actually starting to do some of the work. Maybe you're bringing and partnering up with somebody and hiring maybe a contract, maybe not a contract, but maybe a handyman or something, right?
Yeah.
You say contractor, people just go wild.
Something.
Um,
I did
but
buy
yeah,
a
maybe,
book out of your own contractor.
yeah. So maybe you'll figure out a plan of some sort, but having Saturn there and then having it there with Neptune, I'm trying to remember. Okay, so
That's what I think is throwing me for the loop because the Saturn square stuff, I think I usually have that under control. It's
yeah.
Neptune stepping in and making things unstable.
Well, yeah, and confusing. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's very true. So the thing is that it's possible that when when Neptune gets back there, whether it's because you're having another look-see at your stuff or maybe because there's actually going to be work starting possibly, or at least a plan of some sort and a goal. If that's the case, Saturn can also bring like slowdowns. It can create, it can just delay something. So if it comes back with the Neptune, that's the way it's going to happen, maybe it'll be beneficial because you'll have material, tangible Saturn with Neptune squaring your Saturn. So I'm hoping. The thing is that Neptune doesn't move as fast as Saturn. You follow?
Yeah.
Saturn moves faster, and so Neptune will spend some time there. But then Neptune will actually, like I said, it'll touch on your South Node, and a South Node in Aries does ask us to release something, to let go of something, and yours is in the 6th house of daily routines, the domestic part of your life, maybe possibly something with your health. And it could amount to, because it's in Virgo, the 6th house, and well, when you talk IBS, that's all Virgo energy. That's the gut. What goes on in the gut, the function of your gut, and how healthy it is or isn't. Yeah, that's all connected there. So hopefully, yeah, you might just realize there's some things that you're ready to let go of, even though I know you were already doing that before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there might be some other
equity
things.
I would not like to let go of.
I know, right? It's like, okay, that's a bombshell. I didn't want to, certainly, yeah.
Well, everybody thinks of their house as their little nest egg. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
For sure.
And that's like
For
somebody
sure.
just came in and scooped out a bunch of my nest egg.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel for you. That just, yeah, that's hard to hear. It's hard to hear. And here's the other thing I want to point out. Not that you don't know this because you're already experiencing it, but here's Fortuna. She's at 27 degrees in Pisces in your natal chart.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the same as part of fortune for anybody who's listening because they're trying to learn. There's two different things. There's part of fortune and there's fortuna. Fortuna talks about the pendulum of fate, but not just about fate, but the pendulum of your fortune, good fortune or bad fortune. And look, you got the North Node on your fortuna.
Oh,
Yeah. See that shit? Look at that. The North Node, the two Sapphos, the Mercury and the Venus, they all touched it. They all touched it. So Venus is going to go to 24. Mercury's going to stop where Venus is right here at 25. These, Mercury's almost done with its retrograde. Venus's will be a little bit longer. Venus is talking to Saturn. So we're making a plan. We're thinking about our tangible security, which is what we're having this conversation about right now. This Venus talking to Saturn kind of gives it orders and says, here's a plan. This is how we're going to try to, make sense out of this and organize this confusion and this hot mess. And then we're just going to go forward and see what happens. But it does go over Fortuna again because it has to go forward in the retrograde. So I'm praying that with it being in Pisces, maybe somewhere in all of this hot mess, there will be some good news for you because this doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good at all for you.
yeah.
You do have Jupiter over here, right? You got your Jupiter at 29. So everything's going to have to, all this stuff over here in water, we'll have a conversation with your Jupiter. The thing that will I know we've talked about your sun being below the horizon or above the horizon, and that has a lot to do with the greater benefic in your chart.
Yeah.
So this event will let us know, because if Venus and Saturn and Mercury and come back through here and trigger this Jupiter, and you're still in the same predicament, well, then I would say we're looking at Venus's that Jupiter is probably not your greater benefic.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because remember we talked about not knowing for sure.
Right.
It's probably going to be Venus. We'll see. Because your Venus is up here in Virgo at 2 degrees.
Right.
Yeah. It sure is. So, I mean, I love that your Venus is here because it trines your Saturn. It's a trine to your Saturn.
Uh-huh. But it's also conjunct Pluto, so it's a little strange and wacky.
Well, it is conjunct Pluto, so there is some intensity there with values and desires. It's in the 11th house too, so the 11th house can be a little tricky in terms of Aquarius energy and nerves and shocks and surprises. And you probably got a shock and a surprise with this.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I wish I had better news for you. I wish that I could say that this just looks like this is going to blow over. But it's tricky because it's Pisces. And I don't want to give any clear information when we're talking about Pisces and be like, okay, this is this, because shit can just change. Shit can flip-flop. It's just very unstable, uncertain, confusing energy. But your Fortuna doesn't lie. It definitely got dinged by the North Node and Venus and Mercury. News about my values, right? And your health as well, and the health too.
Right.
Because it's the 6th house. So the good news is once they all get the hell out of Pisces and they get back into Aries and they start moving faster, Venus and Mercury will move, but you'll still be dealing with with Neptune and Saturn, but they'll be at the higher degrees. They'll be like at 29 and 28. So yeah, time will tell if your Jupiter comes forward to be beneficial for you.
Yes.
So in the meantime, keep your head up. I send you good energy and hope and pray you get some better news and you get, I don't know, more estimates that, that can maybe verify that somebody was trying to hose you. I don't know. Because Pisces energy is that. Remember, we were talking about when to make a sale. Don't do it under the Pisces crap because it can be deceptive. So hopefully we find out it was deceptions. That would be great.
Right. Well,
that would be great.
If everything went perfectly right now, it would not be the fall until we moved anyway. So
right. Yeah. So hopefully this comes through for that, because that would be a case where it was like, okay, great. I didn't make a move. I didn't spend the money, and I got some more estimates, and maybe I get different news. And if nothing else, at least maybe lower estimates,
Right. Or a new plan, some strategy that
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Are you all set? Is this good? Does
I
this make
am.
sense?
It does. Thank you.
You
We may
are
proceed.
you are welcome. Keep your head up, and we will definitely keep you in mind, because this is
Oh,
this is
thank you.
this is difficult.
It's always great to talk with you, Jean.
It was good to hear from you too. I'm glad you got to stop by.
Yeah, me too.
All right, you
And
take care.
bye.
You were going to say something else? I didn't mean to cut
No,
you off.
no, just have a
All
great
right.
night, everybody.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All righty. So let me move along here. All right. So I think we have Donna next, because that's what Stacy said. Thank you, Stacy. That helped. Let me get this chart up here for Donna's. Donna's got a baby, a grandbaby. Donna's got a baby. All right. Let's get this on here. Let me go get the digits. And we got to create a new chart here for a grandbaby. Yeah, it's always good to look at the baby's birth chart. The Indian culture, Eastern Indians, that's like mandatory there, because it's just, I mean, they recognize that the shit's legit, you know? So I think it's important for parents, instead of, parenting is hard work. And to me, a birth chart is the blueprint of your child. So why wouldn't you want the blueprint? Doesn't mean you got to limit them or say, hey, but you can or can't do this. It's just, helping them along. It gives you better understanding of a parent, of them, makes their life a lot better, because they don't have judgmental parents, or parents who whatever. And I just, yeah, I know there was a name. Should I just put grandson on it? I know she gave me a name too, and I didn't see it. Let me get the other digits. In the meantime, maybe she'll comment. Okay, so let me get this in here. Oh, March 21st. Okay, so the baby's been around for a minute. Okay, a couple weeks old. 9:12 p.m. Okay, let me put this in here. Oh yeah, you know me, trying to spell. So Uver. Couver. I got that right, right? Right. Okay. Let's see if it takes that. Have you drawn up a chart for the little one yet? Yourself? Like, do you know their rising sign? Mason. Okay, got it. Mason. Okay, let me put that in here. That way I know for sure if this glitchy software is correct. Let's remove that, and let's get your the name in there. Okay. So this is showing me a Libra rising, a 21-degree Libra rising. Oh, a Libra rising. That's a Jupiter degree. Okay. Let's get this on the screen. All right. Well, first of all, you know what? Let me create this chart so that we can draw some lines on it, maybe. As long as that doesn't drive everyone crazy. And then if you want this chart that I have, you just send me a message, and I can send this chart back to you, but you maybe have already created your own chart that you like. Okay, so let's save this for him, for you. And let me get this other chart on here instead so I can actually, let me do that. Let's go back and get this one. Okay, so, oh yeah, no problem. All right, so do you want to come on or do you just want to listen, Donna? I didn't even ask if you wanted the link. Let me see if I can give her the link, because yeah, if you want it, grab it and come on. If you don't want, don't worry about it. Yeah, I can send you his chart. So yeah, we have a Libra ascendant, 21 degrees. Jupiter degree. So that kind of emphasizes some strong Venus energy, doesn't it? It's Jupiter and Venus together then. And wow. So this was a little one that was born. Look at that. Look at that. Sun conjunct Neptune. Neptune 2949. Venus at 3, Mercury at 3. Ooh. Wow. Okay. Saturn at 23 in the 5th. All that energy. Oh, okay. See, the thing is that Neptune, oh man, that Neptune is on the little one's 6th house cusp line of health. All right, I think Donna's here. Let's get Donna in here. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Ah,
Hey, G.
hey, how are you?
Oh, well, it's this little one's got me worried.
Yeah, I'm sure. I see 29 degrees
Yeah.
on the 6th house cusp line.
Yeah. So he was born with the recessive genetic disease of the kidneys, and it's not good prognosis.
Mm,
So I
mm,
really want to see I mean, if you
oh,
look at all the planets, they're all like in the 5th and 6th house, I think.
yeah, it's loaded. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There is definitely a lot. And man, I mean, even his moon was squaring Neptune and squaring
Hmm.
his 6th house cusp line. So, wow, that's
He's
there.
fighting.
Yeah. And I just, Pandora's box was trining Neptune, trining his 6th house cusp line.
Hmm.
Right there. Yeah, that was a trine. Let me put that red because that was a square. So, yeah, that's, man. The one thing I know about little ones, though, sometimes they really shock us by how resilient they are. But let's take a look here. So, in his chart, home and family, the 4th house, he's got Pluto there in the 4th house.
So family's going to teach him a few things.
Well, yeah. So this Pluto was a sextile at his birth to Venus. They were sextiling. You see that?
Hmm.
Yeah. That's a strong sextile. So health is definitely part of the story. Venus, my values. Oh, you got a whistle in the background. Oh, you got someone playing music in the background.
Yeah, sorry. You
Oh,
know what? Why don't I mute? You go do
okay.
your thing, do your magic. Thank you so much. I
Okay.
really
I'm like, wait a
appreciate
minute, I
it.
want to hear the music.
Yeah,
Sound like a flute.
yeah. It is a flute, and
That's my
yeah.
instrument. Damn it, I want to hear it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So I will
Okay.
exit but
Okay.
keep listening in. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
You are
Thanks.
welcome. Yep. Okay. So let me get my chart in here. Okay. Now we're back. So let's see what we can do. All right. So what concerns me in this little one's chart is this 21 degree stuff that I'm seeing because it's Jupiter. And so that kind of it just makes things, it adds to the condition of something. And Aries is associated with Mars, which can be inflammation, right? Well, the Chiron, the wounds, 21 degrees at the Jupiter degree. It's got that there as well. So, yeah, the Jupiter stuff. And of course, Jupiter is a co-ruler of the Pisces energy. So Jupiter and Neptune coming in strong. All right, so we had a trine, 6th house is health. Let's see what else we can kind of see here. Okay. Now, kidneys would normally, I believe, because we have more than one, they're associated with Libra energy. And that was kind of like what really jumped out at me when I first pulled his chart up is, of course, the Libra on the ascendant and, of course, the 21 degrees, right? So that's concerning, and so is this. The Mars is at 20. Right. So Mars, again, it rules Aries. Mars is inflammation. It is the body. It can be specifically the head. It's in water energy. So, of course, family. And it's in the 9th house. And the 9th house talks about the future. You know, what's going to happen? What is the future? So, yeah, this has got to be just a difficult time. And that Mars squaring, it sends an exact square to the ascendant and the descendant, a strong T-square to the 21 degrees, a strong T-square to his Chiron, and the ascendant being a person's physical body. Like the ascendant's really, really important when we talk about not just the appearance, but our overall health in terms of, you know, things that are pairs in the body, because we think of partnerships and pairs in the body, not like PEARS, but, you know, pairs as in partnerships, right? So the Libran energy here being T-squared, and it's by Mars in Cancer. And then, yeah, so you see that big T-square. So that's another difficult thing. The Capricorn, I'm looking down below at the opposite of Mars. There's a part of fortune. That's more Capricorn. I'm going to see, yeah, this Juno energy created a big fire trine, 2nd house of values, right? So let's see. We're looking at, there's some Scorpio energy here. And these nodes, 27, 27, Pisces, and okay. So for right now, what's different for this little one is Neptune is sitting on his sun. Neptune moved, and it's conjunct his sun. We got Neptune right now. It's at 1. I'm sorry, 0. It's at 0. It's like my brain, my mouth will not say what my brain wants it to say. So Neptune's sitting at 0. And that means Neptune's on his sun, and the sun is our battery. It's our energy, right? It just is. It's our vibrancy. It's how we shine and radiate. The sun is our life. Bottom line, it is. And when you combine Neptune and sun energy, wow, this makes this moment by moment. I mean, I want to be hopeful, but I at the same time have to be. I want to be honest. I feel like you just wanted me to read the chart, which is what I'm doing. And so the Neptune on that sun is difficult. Let me see. Neptune on that sun also then trines this. I mean, this is trining his sun, but this is actually kind of important because this is Jupiter energy. So it's like more Jupiter energy. So let me look and see. Yeah. Where's that natal Jupiter at? Let me see how that's placed. Okay. So the natal Jupiter. Okay. Natal Jupiter is in Gemini. Now I was doing a little work today for somebody else, and it was another health thing. And Gemini energy, because it's the mind and it's the communication. It also is known to represent the communication within the body, meaning, you know, the communication from the brain to what, like, I'm not a medical person or I don't know enough about the body to talk about this talking to this, but there's got to be a communication that goes on. And it's, Gemini, information and details. It's like telemetry. It's like, okay, here's all the data. So with Jupiter and Gemini and that data and the information and the communication, there can be confusion. You follow? And this is that same Jupiter that rules Pisces, right? The same Jupiter that is over here in Saggy. So this is tricky. Not that you didn't know this. I mean, I feel like, I'm just on a repeat. It's very, very tricky energy. And then, of course, in the 8th house, having the Taurus conjunct Elgo, they're right next door to each other. They're not far apart. They're right here. And 8th house is definitely changes. It's definitely changes. It's definitely transformations. Let me see if there's something there. Elgo is typically malefic, but this little one also has a Fortuna here. Do you guys see the Fortuna? Yeah, Fortuna's here. And all I've read about Elgo, I haven't read anything real great about Elgo energy, to be honest with you. When you read up on it, it just talks that it can be like extreme imbalances, dark energy, extreme desire. It's like got a Venus thing to it. And Uranus is right here. So again, shocks and surprises, connecting with Elgo, things can switch at any minute. This is also science and medicine, of course. But it's conjunct Fortuna. And like in Fairy There's charts, we talked about the hands of fate, the hands of my fortune swinging. And honestly, it's very tricky in the 8th house. I mean, this is Pluto ruled the 8th house. So it's deep change and transformation. The 8th house it can be a metaphorical change, and some refer to that, some refer to scary moments of all of a sudden there might not be a heartbeat to all of a sudden there is a heartbeat. Like, we go through things, especially the family going through things for sure, and the little one fighting for their life. The 8th house is change and transformation, and it is associated with the physical change and transformation where we release the body. It's known for that. Now, does this mean this is going to happen to this little guy? It doesn't mean that, but I want to be straightforward that right now, Uranus is sitting very close to Fortuna. Okay. And if the little guy can make it where Uranus gets past that Fortuna, and I would feel better. But there's a lot of big planets that have a lot of power that are touching really personal points. This is your little one's energy, right? And the Fortuna, hopefully it changes and it sways to be something better, because it sounds like it's already dire, right? So hopefully there will be a change for the better. Let me go look at the Aquarius. Okay, so the Uranus up there rules all of this. Okay, and we got Pluto there. So that's important to remember, that the Uranus up in the 8th rules the 4th house, and Pluto is there. You see? So however this ends up being, there's, like you mentioned, big changes within the family and the group energy for sure. And this Pallas Athena right here can be beneficial because she's a strategist and she does excellent in Aquarius energy. She does excellent, and it's using technology, using something that's different, something that hasn't been done before, maybe something that is experimental even, for sure, because that's Aquarius energy. I would imagine that if things look grim, yeah, sometimes family, they have to make decisions about things, and yeah, those decisions can be tricky, but if you feel as though there's no other choice, you might be willing to go forward with those kind of decisions. This Salacia at 10 degrees in Aries, the physical body and the health of the physical body, Salacia can be a little about the illusions and the delusions. And it is making contact with this strong Pallas Athena here, because they're so close in the degrees together. They're real close. So that connection with the plans and the strategist and her being smart, it looks like a very extreme thing, because it's not just Aquarius, it's 11 degrees, which also is Aquarius energy and technology, but shocks and surprise can be here as well. So I mentioned Salacia because it's a lot like Neptune energy. So there's just a lot of things where I'm looking for hope, and I'm looking to see the points that can be beneficial, but they are making contact with things that can kind of confuse things and blur out the good and the clarity needed to move forward. Hopefully I'm reading things, I don't know, not incorrectly, but maybe there's some more optimistic news here that I'm just not tapping into. You've got a lot of Aries. He's got a lot of Aries in the 6. Aries is a fighter. Aries is a fighter. That is for sure. So there comes a time for anybody who's had a loved one. You have a loved one on life support, a loved one who's in a bad situation, and it's, you're praying, and there just comes a time when you realize it's really up to the little one and how badly do they want this. It comes down to their willpower and their soul power combined. And I will just add that this little one in Aries energy, when you have the sun in Aries at 1 degrees, anytime somebody has their sun, their willpower, in a fire sign, it's a strong sun. You follow? Because the sun rules Leo. So this is a strong sun. And at 1 degrees, it's the fighter degree. It is the fighter degree. So I will say that much. Okay. And I can say that much with certainty. Now, some would argue and say, well, sure, but it can also be impatient. And yeah, it can be a lot of things, but it's at the 1 degrees, it's getting a trine from Juno. So this tells me that this little one, thank God, was the little one born in Canada? Hopefully, because at least there they'll get the proper care that they need. And that's what partnerships are. Whether it's family, but maybe family flying into town, because it's Juno and Saggy, but it's partnership energy, and it can be the medical partnerships. It can be, hospitals and whatnot, stepping up and doing what needs to be done. And of course, Pisces and Jupiter can be, we think of medicine and doing magic with what they need to do to stabilize. So this trine, I'm going to make that blue because that's what it is. It's a strong trine from his sun to Juno. It's very strong. Okay. Now, as far as some soul power, we look to the moon, 28 degrees in Saggy. I mentioned it earlier that moon is a square with Neptune. A lot of, I don't want to use the word karmic, but there can be some history here because of the 29 degrees of Neptune, and past life and soul energy is definitely present with that. So here's the last thing, unless you have a question that you wanted me to pinpoint or something. Oh, thank God. Thank God. He's a fighter. Absolutely. Yeah, I know. Anytime, because I have other people who watch or who get readings and who are from Canada, and they always speak so highly of the care that they get. And I'm just like, God, I wish somebody would adopt me. Okay, so prayers for Mason. Yeah, absolutely. Mason needs prayers. He is a fighter and he needs some group energy for sure to focus on him making it, especially if this is what Mason wants, because this is going to be important when we talk about a 28-degree moon. Now, that 28-degree is family and emotions. So it's like double moon energy. Okay. It's double moon energy. And yeah, Saggy, Jupiter, an expansion of that. So with that, and that angling that Neptune energy right there in a square, it's a Jupiter, it's a moon and a Jupiter energy squaring the Neptune stuff. And those are both like history. Those are both like karmic. Those are both like soul energy or soul memory. So maybe there's some good that comes out of this struggle for the family. And because there's such strong soul energy here, if for some crazy reason, if things, take a turn and it's not for, if it's not what you want, it's not positive, and the family's like, oh shit, even though the family's already like that. I do want to say that because this is like this, because there's a lot of history involved, and we've got these intense energies at these high degrees, that at least try to get some peace in that sometimes little ones come in for a short time for a reason. This is not me saying that that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying is if that occurs, just because of the history and the karmic energy here, it's not like a punishment. Some people, like, there's plans that we as humans don't get to make, not in the physical body. These are plans that we make like in another dimension, so to speak, right? And there is experiences, we'll put it like that. There's experiences that had to be had by everybody involved. It's not just a one person thing. So if this little one does this, if it goes out this way, then at least know that because of the strong soul and the strong history that's here, the willpower and the soul power, when a person has strong soul power and willpower combined, it's an indicator to me there's absolutely a plan here. Okay. And it was, before conception. You follow? So with whatever ends up happening, just know that, yeah, there's a plan. And whatever the lesson is or was for the family and even for the little one, sometimes it's just for these experiences. And I know that is hard to hear. It's gut-wrenching. I know that is hard to hear. So with all that said, the fight is strong. There is a trine, a nice fire trine from partnerships and Juno energy, and it's at 1 degrees. It helps. It's like an army in a sense because it's partnerships and it's at 1 degrees. So there's assistance there. All right. He's got the best parents ever. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very good possibility. I mean, hold on. I think that, she's in the room. Hold on. Taffy's wants out. Let me get the door. It always happens. I we're talking about something super important. I thought you were outside. I was going to let it wait. There you go. Watch your tail. Okay. So yeah, Donna, there's just, even the Mars is at a Scorpio degree. And that does represent trauma, right? Trauma with the body. It does. But also trauma to the family, right? And Cancer is history. And you know, so there, like I said, there's a lot of history here in this chart. There's a lot of history here. And the soul history and the family history, and then of course the Scorpio energy too itself. You know, that 18 degrees with that Scorpio energy, yeah, that's health. That's Virgo. That's Virgo. Right there. Second house cusp line. So what that tells me then, if this dark time, if this little one can make it through, if this little one makes it through this dark time, it tells me then that this energy of health on the second house cusp line, you know, this would be something that's probably, you know, might be a difficult life to live, actually. You follow? Because you got health over there and like the history that's involved with it, the trauma that's involved with it. And you've got all this over here with the health. Yeah, Sun conjunct Neptune cannot be easy. I mean, I know just when Neptune originally just popped into Aries, what was it, a week ago? Holy crap, the shift I felt. It was like I had to lay down. Like, I mean, it was like almost within an hour, I automatically, it just like zapped my energy. Because Neptune makes us just want to sleep forever, you know? So if something happens, if this doesn't go the way, you know, if there's not a positive, the little one will definitely be in Neptune's arm, which Neptune's arms are, you know, back to source and protected and safe and yeah, just yeah, you know, like a little angel if that happens. So yeah, the Taurus and the Gemini in the 8th, and the communication and the values and that Fortuna. Yeah, I would love if he could get past that with Uranus. The thing is, though, is that even if Uranus makes it past, and I'm not trying to be a negative nanny, but Uranus is going to go, like in June, Uranus goes into Gemini. It goes to a couple of degrees, 2 degrees. Actually, he's got something at 2 degrees. It goes to 2 degrees, and then it goes backwards. It goes back to 27 Taurus, which means it'll be conjunct his Fortuna. So this is just some difficult times ahead. And there are tons of babies who go through some really rough years. Really rough years. So if he makes it out of these rough times, he can do it then. He can fight and he can do it. I felt it before even seeing the chart. Yeah, the soul is everlasting. Absolutely. I had there was someone doing a lecture and they were talking about health, but they were really talking about the basics of health, and they were talking about life in general, literally just elemental life. And they were talking about some of these old scientists, like way back in the day, who would do like these weird experiments, find like a dead animal or something, right? And the animal had just died or whatever, and so they put it in a bag. I mean, this was way before, right? And so they put it in a bag and they kind of wrapped it up, and it was sealed airtight. And they let some time pass, you know, a couple months or whatever, and they went back to open it up to see, and they found nothing but dust. And for them, it was amazing because it proved to them, right, without having the telescopes or the microscopes, without having all the scientific tech we have to figure and to tell us these things, it was a simple experiment that life does not end. It changes. It only changes form. It's never ending. It only changes form. And so we'll, you know, we will just keep praying for the little one, and please keep us, you know, just, yeah, let us know whenever you're up to it, whenever you feel like I mean, it's not like it's a celebration. That's for damn sure. That's sad. Always difficult. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it sucks when you feel it before you even see in the chart. Yeah. So lots of prayers for Mason, a little one who was born 2 weeks ago. This is his chart. He's struggling. And the family definitely also needs supportive energy their way for sure. The family as well. Because for me, little ones, I always had a lot of friends who do like death doula work, and like they work with people in the passing in both ways, coming into the material tangible, into the body, and leaving the body. And I swear they always say, when it comes to little ones, it's it works differently. It works differently. There's definitely yeah, they just describe it as they have their own special, like, not a party, but like their own special entourage, that is present for them, because you've got little ones who mom and dad are probably still alive, right? So it's a very unique and a very special different thing, where it's not scary, it's not frightening, and it's a beautiful experience. So if this is what happens, just at least try to hopefully find some peace in that, and that it might have been a life that would just have been really difficult to live anyway, and worse, false hope, and then all of a sudden they're gone. So we'll see what happens, though. So positive prayers, positive energy, absolutely. And I hope that yeah, everyone here just keeps the family, Donna and the family, sending some beautiful energy. And yes, they're in Canada, so we these are our allies, regardless of what anybody else says. Absolutely. Absolutely. These are really good neighbors for sure. Well, don't worry, Donna. It's all right. It's part of life. It's sad, but it's part of life. It's the way it works. Okay. Don't worry. Let's get into a really happy chart. All right, we're moving along. Thank you. You are welcome. That's right. Stand together. Absolutely. Okay, so do you have an update for us, Christy? Is Christy next? Christy said, now I'm confused. All right, well, let me go find out who was supposed to be next in line. I see it. It says Christy is next. Gibson's here. Hey, Gibson, how the hell are you? Cold corpse. What's going on with that? We're doing G astrology. That's what we're doing, cold corpse. They need the strength. Yeah. All right. Strong Leo energy with his name. Yeah, right? Yeah, a lot of strong. Lots of strong. He's got a strong sun. That would explain why. Send the link. Talkie. Okay, we can do that. Okay, so I just want to say, whoever's for people who are in the green room, you can stay there, but we have an order in which we go in, and you can stay there. You don't got to jump out, because whenever it's your turn, that way you'll already be there. But just know there's an order, and that's why you're not being picked next, because the link, yeah, Stacy will tell you who's next in line, and yeah, she'll let you know. So I'm going to now create this link for you. This is for you, because this is how I do it. I put a link and I say who it's for. So that's for Christy. Christy, you're going to get the link, because we got some people waiting. So Christy's going to come in. The last three are Linda, Lulu, and Gibson. Really? I got somebody here I got someone in the green room you don't even have on this list. So for the person in the green room, you got to talk to Stacy. You got to get on that list. This is the list I follow. The person with the blue jacket keeps the order. I mean, unless there was a mistake made, but please make sure that I have your full birth digits, because that's how I look at your chart. I got to first create it if I don't have your digits. All right. All right. Christy's here. Let's get her in here. Hello, hello, hello.
Donna, I feel for you. My heart's with you, girl.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you and Mason.
Absolutely. The whole family.
Yes. Yes.
The mom and dad.
My
The
heart
whole
feels
family.
my heart feels for you. Okay.
I'm trying to get this darn chair fixed. Okay.
That's what I was just doing. Oh my gosh.
All right.
So,
What's going on?
you
Do we
remember
got an update? Did you get a check? Did you get some money?
No, not even close. Okay. So,
Did I just rub some salt in the wound?
sure did.
Oh,
Anyway,
sorry about that.
I know last week I was all flippy,
No, it's okay.
but
No.
actually you helped because I got
Oh, good.
over it. I got over it. And then it happened again.
Oh, shit.
So
What does that mean it happened again? There wasn't
it was another flood.
in your area?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know you were hit again. Oh, damn. I
Yes.
can't keep track.
So-
There's floods every goddamn where and storms everywhere. I can't even keep track anymore. Holy
Well,
shit.
yeah,
So
I
did you include yourself? Are you number 39 or whatever that was?
Oh no,
Or
that hasn't
79?
got that far yet. But remember you said it's going to retrograde back, and I said I don't want to do this again. It must have retrograded back, but because you said it'll be a little different.
So did you lose water again and power?
No, it just
Oh,
flooded.
okay.
It started the same way, and I thought,
Yeah, because what I was talking about was, well, the
yeah,
retrograde would actually hit the points that it hit during that original flood that you were without power for, what was it, 20 days or some shit?
we were without water for like 17, but you said it wouldn't happen the same. It wouldn't be the same as it
Okay.
was the first time, and it wasn't.
Okay.
But it started the same with the water.
Okay.
And yeah, and I drove through it too. I had to get home. I was like, hammer down, gotta go. But
As long as you didn't float away in the car.
no, I followed somebody through the water, so we're good.
Turn around, don't drown. You know the rules.
Yeah. But I was like, keep going. But I was praying the whole way. But the water again, are we done with this freaking Pisces crap and watery stuff?
No, we got a ton of energy still in Pisces.
When are we getting rid of it? It needs to go away.
Well, the North Node is in Pisces.
Oh man.
I mean, that's just number one.
What's that change?
And so the North Node takes about 18 months to go through a sign, or to go through both the signs, I should say, the top and the bottom, the north and the south. So
I'm getting a boat.
Yeah, start building your ark.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and then Neptune's going to retrograde back into Pisces.
Oh.
And so will Saturn. You follow?
Yeah. Oh no.
Well, okay. Well, the node won't still be up at those high numbers. It'll start getting lower.
Okay.
So that will be different. That will change it, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully for you, then, like I said, it'll happen, but it'll be a little bit different because other things will have moved. But because of you being the only ones on that water supply, you're kind of in a you're in a screwed situation.
Yeah.
So you just got to basically prepare to always have like a backup. Do you have like, what about if you had, I don't know if this would even work, but like a water catchment system?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4 55-gallon drums of rainwater. We catch rainwater.
Do you filter them though, so that you can actually drink that water?
No, we use it to flush the potty until we build the outhouse. I'm serious.
Oh, okay. So you've got these big drum. Okay. Oh, okay. So you already went ahead and you're like, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Then you're
also-
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also, water plants with it and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah.
But
I don't know if do you shower with that?
Well,
I mean, you had to haul water. You hauled water for 17 days. I'm never going to forget this. She hauled water for 17 days.
But
and I'm really not laughing about it, even though I am.
Oh,
I'm laughing at you telling us, but go ahead.
Oh, I was telling some people about this whole ordeal and they were rolling. They's like, I can't, I'm not laughing at you, just how you're explaining it. I mean, yeah, it was bad. But yeah, I could go on the road and make some money off this.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that'd be better than not making nothing off of it. At least you get a check
Right.
that way.
That's right. And we'll get something somewhere.
Yeah.
But I haven't tried to wash with rainwater yet.
Well, I'm not saying you should. I'm just
Well,
saying maybe
that's
get
probably,
another one that you can filter through, and then you could actually use that one,
yeah.
like if that's what you wanted. I mean, I don't know. You'll figure it out. This is just me giving ideas. Yeah.
That might be coming.
Who the
You
hell am
know?
I?
Well, that might be coming. You never know.
Um,
I asked for a water buffalo from the water department. It's a big drum, and it's like 3, 4, 500 gallons of water that they
so
can fill up.
do they like what's like that's not free? I'm assuming, right?
Oh, of course I'd pay for it.
Still, it's huge, and that's probably what you need, though.
Well, that's why I asked for it, and they said we don't do that. I'm thinking,
Oh,
well,
really?
y'all
So
don't
you
do a
have
whole
to
lot.
find a private company that does it.
Yeah, but we could only do it in the spring, summer, and fall. Because in the winter it'd freeze if it's outside.
Well, yeah, but then it's filled with ice.
Yeah, then it'd bust. In the winter.
I don't know about that though. The companies were like, this is what they do for a living. Yeah, I would just reach out and find out. They would, I would, yeah, I would just find out
A cistern would probably be better.
something below the ground.
Yes.
Okay.
Or moving.
Okay. Well, I don't think that's going to happen. And I only say that not because of the astrology, but I mean, I know. Yeah, hubby, that's his land, man.
Yeah.
That's his home.
Yeah.
You know, people don't walk away from that.
But if there's lottery involved,
Really? He'd be
Really?
like, okay, we can walk away from this. In a
yeah,
heartbeat.
yeah, and they'll be
So
signed.
well, then there you go. You might get a check, and he'd be like, okay, we're out of here.
Yeah.
They're moving on up. So am I looking at your chart?
No, I just wanted to give you an update.
Oh, great.
And prayers again for Mason.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I was just I'm glad you were able to, you know,
I've been
give
in
us
that
the update,
situation.
and I also, like I said earlier, I don't know if you heard me because I don't know. I didn't know. Like I thought, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have left that up. And I wasn't even thinking about the readings. I was just thinking about the intro, which I thought I'll just leave it up, screw it. And then a couple days later, I was like, oh shit, Christy, this might be a problem for her. So, did you even know that I left it up?
No, I've been
Okay.
busy.
Do you want me to
Cold
take it
water.
down?
No, leave it up.
Because you were pretty clear in there.
Leave it up.
Okay, I just didn't know for sure. I mean, you know, you were really, yeah. You mentioned it had to do with work, and I just thought, oh shit.
Yeah, just
All right. Well, then that's good.
yeah, leave it up.
Yeah.
But that's I'm very interested in your story, not live too, the private lives.
Oh yeah. Well, like
Yeah.
I said, I saw an email you and yeah, because I just wanted to keep it small. I want to keep them
Yes.
small because then it, you know, I have charts. I already have all that ahead of time, and we can really, you know,
That is awesome.
do it in a smart way. So yeah, I'll communicate back through there,
Yeah. Okay.
and then we'll go forward.
I've been in that situation where the parents are with Mason. So my
Oh,
heart is
God.
just
I know.
breaking.
I mean, I feel like any parent who has a child, like when there's a new birth, there's always that, like, you know, there's always that uncertainty of, you know, are they going to be healthy?
Yeah.
And so, well, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's a,
But I like what you
It's hard.
said about there's lessons, and it may not,
well,
and it may be for the medical team. It'll make somebody. It could make somebody a better doctor. It could make
Could
somebody
be
a
that
better,
too. Absolutely. That's why I said it's never about one person. It's
right.
never just about it's never about one person. It's about an experience of anybody who's got their hands involved in it in any way.
And it could be their karmic lesson too.
Yeah. So
Given a gift of a karmic lesson.
yeah.
It's hard to. It's
Given a
hard to
gift.
put. It is a gift. To get. It would be a blessing to give someone a karmic gift.
Sure would.
Think about that. The crown in your jewel, in your a jewel in your crown for that.
Yeah.
You're
A
the one
jewel
that.
in your crown.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, how else do you look at it? I don't know how, it's hard to make sense out of tragedy. It's just hard.
Mhm.
It's hard.
But somebody will learn a lesson from something.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. You definitely reprioritize life. That's for damn sure.
But my heart goes out to y'all.
Yeah. Yes, yes. I know she
Alright.
appreciates it. She's still here. She said thank you with a big old purple heart.
You got them. You got all the prayers.
Absolutely. For Donna, for Mason, and the family.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Thank you for the update, amiga.
Thank you. Scream at y'all later. Bye.
All right. Thank you for making me laugh. Good
Bye.
night. All right. So, if Christy passes, the last three are Linda, Lulu, and Gibson. All right. So we've got, maybe this is Linda. The Linda that's in here. Maybe. So is Linda the same as Linda Ploep? Is that the Linda, Stacy? I'm assuming it is. And I don't think I have her information. Email. All right, well, let me get Linda in here because I don't think I have her info, but let's check this out. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Hello. All right, so this person.
I'm here.
Oh, we got you. Okay. A little bit of a delay, I guess. I don't think I have your birth digits.
January 63.
Oh, we're having a hard time hearing you. If we can't hear you, then yeah. We got to be able to hear you. So try that one more time with the birth digits. Can you hear me? Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, good. I don't have your birth digits. And when you spoke, it just it went silent.
Okay, I'll send it. Do you want me to send it in the chat?
Yeah, and I can't hear you. So you might want to get real close to the microphone.
Can you hear me
or
now?
whatever device you're using.
Can you hear me now?
Barely.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Barely. You're a
Okay.
whisper. You're a whisper, and it hasn't changed. It's just a whisper.
How about now?
Nope, no different.
Okay, I can't get it to go up any higher. You want me to put it in the chat, my birthday?
Here, let's try it one more time. Let me crank this up. Say the birthday.
1163.
So is that January 1st, 1963?
Yeah.
And do you have a birth time?
1:15
1:15 a.m. or p.m.?
a.m.
All right, that's good that you knew that. And the city?
That I was born in?
Uh-huh.
Pontiac, Michigan.
Pontiac, Michigan. Well, hello, neighbor. I'm not in Michigan, but I'm in Illinois. All righty. So let's get this chart. Have you ever seen your chart before?
A long time ago.
Okay, so I didn't put a name on here. Let me put your name on here. Let's put. Yeah, I'm assuming you're the Linda that she has written down, as opposed to she doesn't have the last name Ploep.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Okay, so this chart shows me that, oh, look at guys, another Libra rising. Is that you, Libra rising? Let me get it on here.
I thought I
Do you
was.
remember if you're a Libra rising?
Is that I'm a Capricorn?
Okay, so you're a Capricorn sun. Here,
Okay.
let me do this.
I thought it was Aquarius rising, but I'm not sure.
Ah, you're not sure. Okay. Well, then this makes this tricky. 'Cause sometimes tonight my software's been playing some games on me. Sometimes it comes up spot on, and other times it's like, we're going to be tricky and not
Mhm.
give you accurate stuff.
Mhm.
So I don't want to do that. This is showing that you're a Capricorn sun sign
Mhm.
with a Libra rising on the ascendant, Libra rising.
Okay.
And let me do this real quick. Let me flip back over to this other chart, and then we're going to draw on this because I've never seen your chart before, so I just kind of have to look at the birth chart.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's your Capricorn sun. When you say you know you're a Capricorn, because that's the birthday, okay?
Oh, okay.
The day you were born. The birth time and the location is this.
Oh, wow.
That's why those are so important.
Okay. And
Yeah.
okay.
And this right now is telling me that that's a Libra on the ascendant.
Okay.
So your moon, Pisces moon. Oh Lord. Did you know that about yourself? Are you a Pisces moon?
I have no idea.
Oh.
What's
Do
that
you
mean?
consider yourself sensitive?
Yes, it runs through generations in our family.
Repeat that last part.
It runs in our family for generations.
What runs in your family through generations?
We get messages, dreams, things like that.
Oh, there
Psychic,
you go.
very psychic.
There you go. So you know what you're talking
My grandmother was born with a veil over her. They call it a second veil or a second layer of skin called a veil. But on both sides of my family, they had psychic abilities.
Okay. You have Jupiter in Pisces and your moon in Pisces.
Does it say whether it's strong or not?
Whether it's strong,
Mm-hmm.
well, we're going to take a look at that. You have quite a bit of stuff in Pisces. You have a Chiron here, which is a wound past in the history. Chiron in Pisces usually signifies a healer. Chiron in Pisces, when people have that. Now, it's in the 5th house of children
Mm-hmm.
and fun and joy and creativity and romance, but it can also be with animals and in nature.
Does it mean you heal your family?
There can be, because it's significant one-on-one relationships.
Okay.
There can be. Let me kind of take a look. You do have a Pisces moon, and that is family. The moon is family.
Mm-hmm.
So when you started talking about the past and the generations and the family, well, the moon is family, and there's Pisces, and Pisces, highly intuitive energy, highly sensitive energy,
Mm-hmm.
empathic energy, a lot of like karmic energy, but soul history, soul memory, dreams, and what I call telling dreams, like you just know things, like that's common. Super creative though, because it's in a creative house.
Mm-hmm.
Do you use your creativity?
I was afraid of it for many years or whatever, but I don't know, maybe a decade or so ago, I started talking to my family about it and started telling them about things. And I had told my son. He said I knew that his wife was pregnant, but I didn't say anything to him when they told us. I told him that it would be a boy, and it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just normally get dreams, and sometimes I get messages, and it just tells me things. It can be, a month or couple months before, about me and other people.
So does it show up like as a visual, an image to you?
Yeah, it'll be in a dream, and I see it clear as day. Exactly what I'll be in the same place that I was in the dream, and everything that was said and everything that happened is identical. And
Okay.
other times I just get, I don't know if you call it a download. It's like somebody's talking to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So do you use your Pisces energy in a creative way?
What would
Like
be a creative way?
creativity? art, music, sound, instruments?
No,
Okay, because it's
I
in a
didn't know
really
to.
yeah, it's in a really creative location. If this is your chart, it's in the fifth
Mm-hmm.
house, and fifth house is really about expressing, being
Mm-hmm.
really creative.
Okay.
It's Leo energy. It's usually very colorful and fun,
Mm-hmm.
really fun. But with Pisces here too, Pisces is a musician, it's an actor. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
Pisces, yeah. So, like maybe playing around with being a performer, literally, whether it's music or putting on a performance, like a play or something, like as a kid, or maybe in plays, and when you were a child or something.
No, I
Primary
never did
school.
any of that.
None of that. Wow.
No.
So now I'm wondering if
As an
our
engineer, I can build things and figure things out in my head how to put stuff together real easy. I can fix almost anything. But as
yeah.
on the artist side, no, my sister is, but not me.
Okay.
I could do drafting, but um not sing or
Yeah,
act.
the building stuff, the Capricorn energy, plus you have Saturn and Aquarius. Capricorn's about creating structures and building something.
Yeah.
And having it in the third house of the mind, you mentioned being able to kind of like see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Capricorn is real kind of down to earth and serious energy too.
I am.
Well, you have a sun in Capricorn, so that would explain it. But even when someone has Capricorn in the third, even though you have some Saggy here in this chart anyway, um, normally their thoughts are like really organized.
I am.
They're usually quite organized and focused on the long term. Like, okay, this is what I want for the long term. And so these are the steps we got to take to get there. And it's just almost like very structured and methodical, like
That's me. That's
disciplined
me.
thoughts, even.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense for you?
Yes, that's me.
Well, here's the other thing, too. You have a Mercury conjunct your South Node. Holy crap. They're both at 29 degrees. Wow. Okay. So that's the mind, Mercury. Mercury's all about the mind. And it's in Cappy, the very serious energy. So not only are you a Capricorn sun, but your mind definitely double organized here with building, but there's even like a superpower attached to that. History. The South Node means you've done this before. You have, you were born with this innate gift, even.
I always knew how to do it and I never knew how.
Right? You were born with it.
Yep.
You were just born with the knowledge because you already have experience with it. It's what I call a superpower. So in this life, or whatever you want to call it, you're working on this, which is called the North Node in the chart. And so that's a North Node in Cancer energy. And it is a focus on family. It is a focus on not so much about the material, tangible recognition and success, which is what this sign, a South Node in Capricorn, was like
It's about a
the
happy
loss.
family.
I'm sorry?
It's about a happy family.
The South Node in Capricorn?
I just know the only thing that matters to me is a happy family.
Yeah, well, the North Node, yeah, it's focused on family. This is focused on family for sure. The Capricorn energy, it normally when someone has a South Node, like their superpower in Cappy, it speaks to a past life of material, tangible success and recognition, like that you had already achieved that.
Oh,
So
okay.
for this life, this time around, it's the opposite. The opposite is the goal. The family is the goal.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's of course in your 10th house, which is a placement of goals. Now, is this her chart? Well, she's got family at the midheaven, literally the MC. And you even have it there at the 19 degrees, which is the relationships with the family. Strong feminine energy with Cancer here at the top like this. Home, family, mother wound,
Mm-hmm.
empathy, understanding, nurturing, and you have Pulse Athena there. She's a strategist. So she tries to establish and make a plan for how to accomplish the family thing, which it kind of sounds like that's what you said. You want a happy family, not just family, but you want a happy family. And this Pallas Athena is a retrograde, so she's strong. She's smart. Pallas Athena is really smart. She's a creative thinker, but creative intellect. So she probably actually helps with this Capricorn stuff you have down here too. She's at the opposite of that. Okay, let's go take a look at something else here. You've got a Venus at 25 degrees. Another person with a Scorpio. Okay, so Venus at 25. So Venus is values and money and how I receive. It's love energy. And it's really focused on relationships and shared values. That's what this Venus values. Sometimes with people, when they have like a lot of Scorpio, maybe all Scorpio, even though you have Saggy, you don't have all Scorpio in your second, because this is my values and my money in the bank type of thing, and my income. With Venus and Scorpio, she might look at other people's stuff and be like, ooh, I want that. And like that's somebody else's belongings. They might value others' belongings, others' things, or they really, or I should say, and they really value deeply connected relationships, deeply bonded relationships, not just like superficial stuff. They're
Right.
more,
That's how I am.
yeah, they're intense. They're about depth and meaning, deeply meaningful and possibly intense relationships. What might make this tricky is that if this is your chart, and I'm only saying that because of the time and because of my software, it might be a little weird tonight. This 15 degrees Neptune is on your second house cusp line. Well, the second house cusp line represents how you make a living. You know, how you get paid,
Mm-hmm.
how you receive. So having Neptune there can go a couple of ways. Do you work? This is me just asking. You don't have to give answers, but this can be institutional energy. So whether it's I work for the government or some other major institution of a society, hospitals even possibly.
I was an engineer, but then I got injured, so I'm on disability. But I'm 62 also.
Yeah. So this is institutional energy. And so to kind of, when you say you're on disability, well, this is that. Institutional energy pays. Okay, so then maybe this is accurate then, because it's very close to your second house cusp line and Neptune's right there. And Neptune would be your source of income.
Mm-hmm.
You follow what I mean?
Yes.
All right. Okay, you got a 24-degree Mars up there. Yikes. All right. Wow. Okay, you're going to have a Mars return this year. So what that means is that when the Mars up in the sky touches this Mars, it starts a new 2-year cycle for you. You're taking action. It may have to do with social groups and friends. Could be streaming and online because it's in the 11th house. It could be, kind of like today around the world. We get with our friends who are like-minded and we show up for social causes and rallies and protests. It could be that kind of energy. Leo wants to have fun. Quite frankly, Leo wants to have a good time.
And that's
Mars
where I'm at.
Sorry?
That's where I'm at.
Well, that's good because there's a lot to be stressed out about. The thing is your Mars is a retrograding Mars. See how the numbers are in red?
Yes.
24 degrees in red?
Yes.
So your Mars can be very intense. Very intense. Mars.
So what does that mean?
Oh, Mars is impatient. It can be angry. It can lash out. It is about our passion. It is taking action with what we're passionate about. But Mars usually has a short wick, especially a retrograding Mars has a short wick. Now, the flip side of that is that it's a Mars at 24 degrees, and that's the Pisces degree. So to me, if someone's going to have a retrograding Mars, it might as well have it at a Pisces degree because that helps to tame it a little bit. Mars is fiery. It's a soldier. It was born for war. It was born with a weapon. Like that's Mars. And a retrograding Mars, when it gets angered, it could lash out. It could be very impulsive and do something it later regrets. Now, this can have a lot to do with, your creative, if you were to use and explore some more of the creative stuff in your chart, because this Leo energy, really creative. All right. This would be like creative action because it's Mars energy. But again, because it's at the Pisces degree, it also tells me that there might be some avenues of your creativity that would be good for you to explore.
I use my creativity to build things, to make
Right.
things.
Right. Well, Mars is very physical energy, very physical energy. So this Mars energy can express safely that way for you,
Okay.
where you can go ahead and literally build something and use it for that. And because it's at 24, it's Pisces, which means you get the visuals too. You get the visuals on it.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And yeah, I think it's a good possibility that this is your chart then. The other thing that I'm going to close off with here on your chart, and you can come back next week. Not a problem. We're here every week, unless it's a private live, and then that will be, you'd have to contact me for that. But there is a grand cross in your chart. You were born with this, so this isn't like, holy shit, now I got to deal with this. No, you've been living with this your whole life.
With what?
The grand cross, which is stress and tension. It's not really a cross. Well, it is, but it's what we call a great square. I'm just trying to draw it in here.
Okay.
So you can see this here. It means that all your cardinal angles, your ascendant, your descendant, they're all cardinal signs. And they're all near the exact degrees. Uh-oh, what just happened? Yeah, so up above it's Cancer at 19, and the home, the family, and the Capricorn, and the work, the long-term stuff is at 19, the career. It's all squared and angled and stressed and tension by your descendant, which is partnerships. And there's your partnerships right there. The 7th house is partnerships. So it's a big, great cross, we call that, or cardinal square.
Is that
And
for
it's
what's
just
going on right now, or is that for life?
No, this is just your birth chart. This is how you were born. This is
Okay.
just your birth chart. Yeah. So this isn't any transits of any kind.
Yeah.
What's
So
going on right now is
what does that mean again?
stress and tension. So the
Okay.
significant one-on-one relationships and partnerships, which can be marriage, which can be professional partnerships.
And I'm going through a lawsuit right now with a contractor.
Lord, contractors. Yeah. Well, 7th house is the house of lawyers as well.
Okay.
And let me go look at see, you have Libra over here. According to this, you've got Libra over here. And Jupiter can also be that, courtrooms and lawyer energy. But you have Neptune right here. You have Neptune at 1 degree on the ancestors. Neptune's at 0, but it's going to go to 1. So you have Neptune in Aries.
What's
Well,
that
it just
mean?
talks about history in the past and ancestry. So to me, it's like the past, your dreams about actions of the past dealing with your ancestors. That may come through strongly.
Okay.
The 6th house is health, though, as well.
Yeah, I have health problems.
Yeah, the 6th is health. So when we have Neptune going through our 6th house, we need to definitely honor if we feel tired and we need to sleep more, because that's what Neptune does. It makes us sleepy. It makes us way more sensitive.
Okay.
Sensitivities can be with the digestion, the stomach, the gut. We mentioned this in somebody else's chart earlier tonight. That's going to be really important because it's the Virgo energy. That's the 6th house. But with Aries, it's also the head. It's also our head. There could be sensitivities with our head. So for some, it's migraines. For some, it's sight and vision. For some, it's the ears. And for some, it's, all of the above. So we're just paying attention to those things because Neptune is really sensitive. So it makes Aries more sensitive than usual. Aries, again, is the soldiers. And it normally kind of it had a battle the day before. The next day, it gets back up and fights again because that's what it was born to do. So when Neptune is there, it makes the Mars and the Aries energy kind of surrender, which is like, okay, we're not fighting anymore. We're done. I kind of give up. I'm waving the white flag. We're no more weapons. We're just going to chill. We're going to go to sleep. We're going to take a respite. We're going on a vacation. We're leaving town, type of thing.
That's for now.
Huh?
Is that what's going on now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Neptune's right here.
Yeah, I've been having problems sleeping.
Yeah. Well, it's probably got a lot to do also with you have right now by transits, we have Mars. Up in the sky, we have Mars right here.
Mm-hmm.
And so this Mars is like at 25 degrees today, which means it's really close to your north node.
Okay.
It's going to be conjunct your north node at 29. So, that's Mars is taking action. It keeps us busy.
Mm-hmm.
So that could have something to do with it too. We're usually amped up, and that Mars would then be trining your Venus. So there's a trine, a strong water trine with your Venus and that Mars. So with my values, my money, and this is taxes, right? It's Scorpio energy. It's bonded, strongly bonded energy, but it's income, but it's also taxes. So there might be some expenses. And well, you kind of mentioned something already, but Mars likes to fight. Mars likes to fight. And so I think you said something about, soon a contractor or something.
Yeah, there was, they caused a house fire and they won't take responsibility for it.
Oh,
we had to live in
Lord.
hotels for months. It caused me to have health issues, and he doesn't want to take any responsibility at all. So had to get a lawyer involved. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, I'm glad you got a lawyer involved. And so maybe this chart's right. Maybe this is your chart. If you've got Uranus, which is this Aquarius.
Because I've been angry over that he's not taking
and this would affect your emotions for sure.
Oh yeah.
This would affect your emotions. And Uranus is also like the nervous system and the nerves. Okay.
Yes.
And it's also the shock and the surprise energy.
What's that mean?
Sudden events like having a fire would be a shock and a surprise, like holy shit. And the trauma of going through that, it's
okay.
Yeah, that would be really, really upsetting.
Not a nice surprise.
I
almost died. Yeah, I almost died.
Yeah. It squares your Venus. All this energy right here, 22, 23, 24, that all sends a really difficult square to your Venus energy. Squares are stress and tension. And when someone says almost die, well, Pluto and Scorpio usually come into people's minds. Pluto, Scorpio, and Neptune actually come into people's minds when we talk about death.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll look at that, right? So whether it was an electrical thing.
No, they caused the fire by putting a heater on the brick wall, and it caused a fire in the wall. So it ended up, instead of being a bunch of flames, it filled the entire house up with smoke. And by the time I woke up, it was already to the ceiling, and the doctor said that it had caused me to have a stroke because while I was laying there and it was going up to the ceiling, it replaced my oxygen with carbon monoxide.
Right.
So I didn't have oxygen in the brain.
Right.
And I've had health problems with that ever since. That's what's causing my problems with sleeping.
Yeah. Oh my lord. Oh lord. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't believe it shows that in the chart though. Wow.
well, I mean, this can be, like I said, the surprising stuff. And
Mhm.
oddly enough, this is the part that's pretty wild to me right here, is that this 22 degrees in the Aquarius, the shocks and the surprise thing,
Mhm.
um, this is like a Capricorn degree. And you said it's a contractor
Yeah.
that did this.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why, like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, holy shit, even the Capricorn degree showed up. Someone who's building, someone who's like, yeah, they're responsible. This was their duty, their job. And
Yeah. We were
yeah,
redoing the brick on the outside of the house with new mortar and fixing the bad bricks.
so he used the heater.
And then it was wintertime and they went in their went in their car because it was cold, and they left the heater on the wall so
Oh
long. It's
my
like if you
god.
take heat and put it on a rock, what happens? It holds that heat
Yeah,
for
it sure
long.
does.
Yeah, and it gets hotter and hotter. While they're sitting in their car, I was upstairs losing oxygen. Mhm.
Holy shit. Oh my god. Like, that is not even funny. It's kinda like the last chart we looked at in a small way, because I'm seeing some of the Jupiter degrees, which kind of, expands on things and makes them bigger. Takes
Mhm.
a small problem, it can make it bigger. Jupiter can also be protective though, like you're still alive, right?
Right.
Um, but yeah, this is a Jupiter degree and it's on your 6th house cusp line. Your 6th house cusp line again is health. You
Mhm.
see? And Pisces
Okay.
is confusion, illusions, delusions, like that choice, that decision that person made, that was a bad decision. Was definitely not a Capricorn decision. Pisces is also hospitals, prisons, also substances, by the way, too.
Mhm.
Um, I'm just mentioning that because these are the keywords.
For
But
me or for him?
well, this is on your 6th house cusp line. So
Mhm.
this could be substances as far as like medication, right? Like
Okay.
you might
Yeah,
need.
I'm on the full asthma medicine, which is how they treat you for damage to your lungs for smoke. So I'm
Yeah,
on the entire highest regimen,
yeah.
and this was December of 23 that it happened, and
Oh
I'm
Lord.
still on all that.
Yeah. Yeah, this is some difficult stuff. Well, I'm going to be real with you. I think that because it was Venus that was being squared, because Venus in your chart is considered your benefic. It's like your helper. It's the
Okay,
one where when you're down on your luck, if it aligns properly, she'll give you a payout.
so
You
it is
follow?
there. So it is there.
Well, you have Venus here that's for that because she is your greater benefic.
Oh, okay,
She has the opportunity to bring you a payout because, well, Scorpio's insurance money. It's not just taxes; it's also insurance money. You
okay,
follow? But it's
yeah,
also, yeah, if you sue somebody and you got to get some money from somebody, yeah, they might have to pay out for sure.
okay.
Um, but where I was going was when you had the tragic event happen, and that Aquarius energy that brings this hard square to your Venus.
Mhm.
Thank God it was your Venus that it squared because she's your greater benefic. And
Okay.
so you're alive and you're talking today, like
Yeah,
you're functioning.
I've always wondered, how did I live through that? The doctor said the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Most people just die of smoke inhalation.
Yep.
And you were upstairs. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit, the smoke
Yep.
rises.
And when I woke up, I first it looked like a white fog.
Right.
And so I'm looking right and left, and then I looked up, and the smoke was going around in a circle at the ceiling, and that's when I remembered movies where they show fire and how it does that on the ceiling, and then um, normally I probably still would have died. I probably would have never been able to get out of the house, but all of a sudden a window blind was open that normally is never open, and the sun came in and hit me in the eye, and then all of a sudden, like you said, those messages, it said get air first, and I got air and I was able to get out of the house.
Wow.
Hmm. But
Wow.
the chance that those blinds were open and that light could hit me in the eyes like that and let me know get air, was amazing.
Wow. Yeah, when you go through those traumatic experiences, it's really wild. It's really wild when you're in the survival mode,
Mm-hmm.
how all of a sudden, you can you feel like you're being guided, you
I
know?
felt like that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally
Mm-hmm.
understand. Yep.
I have a fear of sleeping because of it.
Well, that's what I was gonna mention next. Well, actually, I wasn't. I was gonna stop already because I've been here. It's about time to end. Saturn is fear,
Okay.
and you've got it in the 4th house, so home, right?
Yep.
And, so I mean, and this is just regular without having that horrible event happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
That would be Saturn affecting your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And your Saturn is actually quite strong. It supports a lot of the Capricorn energy you have in your chart because it's one of the rulers of this energy, of Aquarius energy. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a very strong Saturn. Um, and that can help or hinder like depression even,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because the 4th house with emotions and Saturn can bring on like sudden bouts of depression possibly.
I haven't been having that.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I just think of the good things that are in my life and the fact that I am alive when I get angry about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Saturn can also represent your father figure, an authority figure in your life, or my mom, 4th house, who was kind of maybe had to play both roles, possibly even
Yes.
because it's Saturn
Yeah. That's
and
true.
it's in the 4th house. As far as sleep and trying to get the sleep and stuff, and the fear factor, yeah, you're probably gonna. I would think, who knows, maybe therapy if you have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna see a hypnotist and see if that'll help.
Yeah, see, because sometimes you can kind of process stuff that is probably there, but it's built on top of something that was already pre-existing.
Okay.
Because you have Jupiter in Pisces, and Jupiter just goes real big.
Okay.
And Pisces is like my soul's memory. You
Okay.
follow? So you're not
Yeah.
just getting like the intuitions, but there's the sensitivities that are connected to you that you're feeling from stuff from the past, even possibly with all the Pisces.
Okay.
So I would just look into it. It's worth it. You have
Yeah,
Hygeia, which is
because you mentioned a lot about fear, and I'm not afraid of things, so that could be maybe my past life.
yeah, absolutely, because that's Pisces. And you also have Hygeia here, which talks about it's a health report card.
Okay.
That's that symbol right there. But it's
Mm-hmm.
at the 8 degrees, which is trauma.
Okay.
And it's in Pisces, which talks about more about the past. And that's right
Yeah,
next to your
I had a
Chiron.
lot of trauma with my parents.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, interesting, right? Because the 5th house, other than Saturn being an authority figure or dad, well, the 5th house can also, because it's ruled by the sun, and we also say that the sun can be the authority figure when we're a child as well. So dad and more dad energy possibly. And when I
Yeah.
say dad, someone who felt like a dad,
No, it's
somebody who
my
was
dad.
supposed to be dead who wasn't there, because Pisces represents somebody who's absent in my life or who's far away or who I can't
Absent.
see or
Absent.
distant. Yeah.
Absent.
Yeah. So the trauma is here. And whenever we feel that kind of trauma with Pisces and then absent, we almost feel like an abandonment thing type of a thing sometimes.
Yes.
But again, it could be subconsciously, you know.
Yes.
So there's just probably some stuff that sounds like you already know that you're gonna like look into to help you heal and
Yeah.
move forward.
Yes.
Okay, that's all for tonight.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for waiting. And
Thank you for the reading.
yeah, you are welcome. I hope it helps you in some way.
Yeah, you're very good. I really understood and could follow you. Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. Yeah, I'm glad it came out in a way you could understand it because sometimes it comes out kind of crazy and too fast.
I'm glad I found you.
You're welcome. I'm glad you found us too. You
Okay.
have
I'll
a
be
good
back.
week. Yep. Thank you. All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care. All right. That worked. It really seemed like it was going to be a rough go at the beginning. I couldn't hear her, and then somehow it got better. That's phenomenal. All right. So I'm sorry. Where are we at? Okay, yeah, it's midnight. That's where we're at. I'm sorry for the people who are next. From medical astrology. Here, everybody. Stacy's took some medical astrology stuff. A veil over the face, super psychic. Yeah, I didn't understand that part. I mean, I heard her, but I just never heard of that, I guess is what I'm saying. So I didn't know. Anyway, from medical astrology, Virgo would be the upper intestine. Lower colon would be Scorpio. Things like IBS are usually a function issue with the colon, like spasms. Yeah. And normally it begins in the gut. I'm just going to leave it there. That's where I'm going to leave that. Normally it begins in Virgo because, well, it makes sense. It's got to begin there and it's got to go somewhere, and it goes down into the colon. So it's worth looking into. And it's also, whenever we talk about Virgo stuff, it's usually stuff that if we're willing to make changes, we can make a great amount of improvement by making the changes if we're willing to follow through and make those changes. So I'll just add that in there. So I realized stress was a major factor. Yes. Yeah. It mostly went away. Yes. My bossy moon and Leo coming out. Hit the like button. I appreciate that. It helps me. It helps the live streams. It helps us to keep doing what we're doing. Yeah. It just does. There's nothing worse than doing the work and doing my best at it. And like the needle doesn't move. It's like, gosh, maybe I suck at this. Maybe I shouldn't do this, Yeah, Linda's been through a lot, man. That story was traumatic. Good God. It's an Appalachian thing. Okay, yeah, I never heard of that. A veil, born with a veil? And so if a child's born with a veil, I think if I understood that correctly, maybe I should back up and read it. Same. I'm missing it. Oh, yeah, I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. After I realize, okay, yeah. All right, I'm going backwards and I'm driving myself crazy. So anyway, she says it's an Appalachian thing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and when we're live, I mean, you can put it on your socials and share out the live stream. You can do that with the videos because I can always tell when someone has shared a video because it just makes a huge difference. Makes a huge difference. It's crazy. Gee, stay safe with all the crazy weather. Thanks for another interesting evening reading charts. A tough one tonight. Yeah. Proud of you. Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? And it's hard. It's a hard topic. I mean, it's difficult, especially when you're talking about babies. It's different when you got grown ass people who've been sick for a long time. I mean, I'm not trying to be insensitive, but it's different when it's so different. And my mother has buried a couple of her children, and I just think no parent ever wants to live to experience that day. You don't ever envision that. You envision yourself, you envision, your children outliving you for sure. So it's just It's just such a hard thing. It really is. Yeah, I hope we don't have crazy weather here. Well, I know we're getting cold. Yeah. I don't care. Let it get cold. I don't need tornadoes. I don't need fires. That's fine. I'll take the cold. 20s, not a problem. To me, that's okay. That is A-okay. So yes, if you were born with a veil, really? And so the veil would be the baby had like an extra layer of skin over its eyes, or are they saying, I mean, there's a lot that goes on in childbirth, and there's a lot of material. We'll put it like that. There's a lot of material there, right? And so it's literally part of the child's, I guess is what I'm asking, or I don't know. And then who says that? The doctor's like, "Oh, look, we've got a psychic going. The veil's on." Like, because immediately they take the baby and clean the baby up. So who's there to pay attention to that? I don't know. I'm just, back in the day, I could see, a lot of these people are born on the kitchen table, So yeah. Okay, that's what I was wondering. So it's the placenta, or did you just make up a new word? She just made up a new word. Okay, so G, do you know people that you do? Oh, well, yeah. You're welcome. Thank you for mentioning it. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Yep. I appreciate your appreciation and your gratitude very, very much. Yeah, I figured it meant pay. You were pay. All right, guys, we are ending it here. Christy says, "Here comes the rain again." Good God. Well, stay elevated. Stay elevated and hydrated. Elevated, hydrated, and dry. How's that? And remember, what's the saying? Turn around, don't drown. Yeah, don't be driving through no oceans, Christy, with your car. Yeah, especially where you're located. Oh my Lord, I've seen houses float away. No, yeah, we don't need all that. Oh, that's really a word? Yes. No, you didn't miss it. We didn't get to Lulu. We're at 12 o'clock, so we're ending. So if Lulu's still here, ask Lulu or whoever I didn't get to is what I was trying to say. Come back next week. I'll be here. And if you guys missed it, for people who came late, we have private lives. The last Saturday of every month. Send me an email if you want to be involved in the private lives. It's a smaller group, and no one's allowed in without a link. And the only way they can get a link is I would already have to have their digits. So there'll be none of this, just pulling up a chart, the last minute stuff. And again, I want to keep it small. It's already half full. Okay. So you want to email me if you want to be part of it, and I'll give you more information from there. All right. So that's it. We're ending, and we'll be back next week. Okay. Thank you, everybody who participated. Thank you, everybody who sent money. I appreciate it. And tune in next week. We'll be here. And stay safe out there, everybody. All right. And prayers for everybody. God knows we all need it. All right, guys. Have a good night. Thank you.
छाया आसमां देखो